Hi there, my name is Officer Nuñez. Today we're assigned out at MASH 2, and this is my friend Zion. The MASH unit is an inmate work program that rehabilitates animals that are seized from investigations that the Sheriff's Office investigates. We have an animal crime unit who will go out and investigate possible animal abuse, possible animal neglect. If they find evidence that there's a crime that's been committed, they'll go to the court and execute a warrant that allows the deputies to work with the MASH unit, and we would come out and help them seize those animals and bring them back to the MASH unit, and then we can start the process of rehabilitating them and then hopefully down the line adopt them out to a loving family. One of the coolest aspects of the MASH unit is that first and foremost it's actually an inmate work program. A lot of people think of MASH as just an animal crimes unit where we go save animals, but first and foremost it was built for the inmates. So the inmates are the ones who are responsible for caring for the animals, feeding them, bathing them, and oftentimes that forms a bond between them and the animals. And I'd like to think that it's making a difference in the inmates' lives. So a typical day in the MASH unit starts off with us checking in with the animals, doing a welfare check, making sure everyone's doing okay. And my partners and I will go pick up our inmates so that they can start their shift working here at the MASH unit. And one of the first things they start is they get the food ready for the animals, and then they'll serve them their food. And after that, they'll go through the process of cleaning out their rooms, making sure that they're living in a sanitary environment. So one of the first things we have to do is do an animal welfare check, make sure everyone's doing okay. And on each cell we have observation logs where people can write notes of what they have observed. So if there's a cat who might have an eye infection, they'll notate it and they'll report it to the staff, and we'll devise a treatment plan with our animal care techs and coordinate with the Palm Glen Animal Hospital, and we'll make sure they get the proper treatment they need, and we just follow up with them every so often to make sure they're doing okay. And then coming in and just socializing with the cats, just sitting in here and talking with them, this is a way of socializing with them as well. Some cats may not be comfortable with you petting them at first, depending on what their history is like. So just coming in here, talking to them, sitting, that's a good way to start off the rehabilitation process. And then over time, they get more comfortable with you sitting in here, and then you can eventually start petting them and picking them up. By the time the MASH unit arrives to a crime scene, our deputies and our animal crimes investigators have already secured the scene, so it's safe for us to enter the premises, and we go through the process of rounding up animals. And that can vary depending on what animals we are rescuing. Sometimes catching a cat presents different challenges than catching a dog, and then every now and again we have to rescue horses, and that can be a process by itself. The first thing we do is we make sure that they're healthy. If we have any suspicion that they might need serious medical attention, we always take them to our contracted vet. Rehabilitating the animals, it depends on the animal. It depends on the type of abuse they've endured in their past. Some it's as simple as just reacquainting them with people, getting them comfortable around people. Some animals that have had more severe neglect and abuse to the point where they're aggressive. For animals that need care like that, we refer to animal specialists. There's one organization in particular we work with called Bark Busters, and we have a volunteer who's an expert in animal psychology and animal behavior, and she'll come out once a week to give us some pointers and to work with our troubled animals, and she's able to give us feedback of what it is we could be doing throughout the week to improve that process. There's no requirement for any type of backgrounds to enter the MASH unit. Myself, I didn't come from an animal background. I do have a passion for animals. You know, I own animals myself, so I love animals, and if I see one mistreated, you know, that's very sad. I learned a lot on the job. One area in particular is I have never interacted with horses before working here at the MASH unit, and now that's one of my main focuses now, and I find it really rewarding, and there's a lot I still need to learn. When I first came out here to MASH 2, I was told that Arlene was difficult to work with, but she just spooked really easily, and because of that, people felt uncomfortable working with her. But I took a lot of initiative to try to learn as much as I could, and over time, I was able to socialize enough with Arlene to the point now I'm able to get a halter on her, I'm able to get a lead on her, and I'm able to walk her out, and I'm able to socialize with her and brush her fur. So for me, that's been one of the more rewarding experiences I've had out here.